Hey everybody, welcome back. It's tea time. It's Monday. This week I'm talking about draegerman from Morgantown, West Virginia. Draegerman started around 1995. These guys have been friends of mine for all these years and I love them, and they always played some good music, and they've been on into some other bands as well. Draegerman started out with Jamie on bass, Dano on drums, Cameron on guitar, and Brian on lead vocals. And myself, I was the Draeger boy. I had a van. I played in another band, but I would roadie for these guys. I'd get them to their shows, and that's how it worked. In the time that they were here doing their punk rock thing, very heavily influenced by Naked Ray Gun and Screeching Weasel and Peg Boy and bands of the like. They put out a couple of shirts in that time, and I've got these, so we'll get at them. This first one, I don't even know how many of these were made. They were made to order. I think Jamie got them made at the mall. This is the first Draegerman shirt. This was an embroidered design. Jamie came up with this logo, and it's rather hard to read from the embroidery. I'll try to get a good picture to put up here of it. But no, we just pretty much had these made for the band and anybody that wanted to throw in a couple of bucks and get one of these. So I don't know the exact number of these shirts, but I still have one. That was what we did to get the ball rolling. Then they've got some shows under the belt, started playing plenty of backyards, played the Night Baby Dance Hall, Sunnyside Sound Emporium. Then we finally came up with a proper shirt, or I should say they finally came up with a proper shirt. And this is the classic Draegerman gas mask logo. This is the only other shirt that they had put out. But if you've been around Morgantown since the 90s and you used to come to shows, they played a lot of all ages shows, a lot of bar shows. So if you see anybody with one of those shirts, you know they're from back in the day, and that is a classic design. Like any band, they've had a couple of member changes throughout the years. Brian ended up taking off, and our buddy George took over lead vocals, and Jamie had moved away, and our buddy Adrian had taken over bass duty. All of them have played in a plethora of other bands, either together or not together. The core members, Dano, Jamie, and Cameron, went on to form Yellow Dog Union with Adrian, and Adrian went from bass to guitar for Yellow Dog, and our buddy Alex ended up playing drums in Yellow Dog. If you look through my videos, you'll see a Yellow Dog Union post that I did a few weeks ago on their shirts, and check them out. Jamie ended up going and playing in Law Abiding Citizens with me. George, he also had a ambient techno-industrial thing he was doing for a while called Blacklands. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go check. So I'm sure you can search the internet and find some of that. Adrian has played bass in a crap ton of bands. He's played for Haley Slagle and the Hard Way, Yellow Dog Union, American Sound Syndicate. He's been around the block. Back in the early 90s, he was also in a band called Weird Harold. I've covered those in my other video as well. These guys are a veritable who's who, have been around town. Dano and I started our first band together called Program back in 1992-ish. He played drums and I played guitar, but I've known all these guys for a long time, and they've all played and done some really, really cool projects. You can find Draegerman on Bandcamp. They put out an EP called the White Trash Trailer Park EP on cassette, and then shortly after that they ended up putting out a proper full-length CD. I believe it was the Warm Beer and Lozenge album, as it came to be known as. It's got a few songs from the EP and a couple of new ones that are on it, and then Cameron has put up a bunch of stuff on Bandcamp of like old demos and things that never made it out. Some are finished, some are just demos of what they are. But you can download all that stuff for free on the Draegerman Bandcamp page if you want to check that out. And they also had a one-time thing. It was the Tonto Goldstein Bar Mitzvah Explosion. Also featured MC Flapocity and the Ultimate Groove Thing on vocals. this was a fun thing. It's one of my favorite things from back in the day. They had recorded a rap song on a 4-track, and the song was called "Special Kind of Booty." I believe you can find that on the Bandcamp page. It's a rather fun, interesting song. But if you like good old punk rock, go back and check out draegerman. Check out their Bandcamp. And if you see any of those guys in their current projects, please go check them out. So I'll see you again next week with another one. Thanks, guys. See ya.